Hello, hello. Okay. Uh, Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of some technical issues here. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Abhinav Gupta. I'm the CEO of Depex, and just a little bit about us. We are working with few of the biggest and the fastest growing data centers in the country right now, notably Yota and Ola Krutrim. And we are also supported by few of the most premier institutions in the country. So, one of them being IIM Bangalore NSR Cell. So imagine that you are a Windows user, right? There are people who use Windows laptops. Now suddenly you are forced to, jump towards an Apple computer, right? Or maybe vice versa. You're an Apple user. You're forced to use a Windows laptop. Typically, you would lose about 20% of your personal data and a lot of productivity, which again, as an end consumer, you just have to swallow and just have to accept that, okay, this is how it is. But you cannot say the same thing for data centers, right? Data centers, if they are to compete with the likes of, Indian data centers especially, if they are to compete with the likes of AWS, Azure, and GCPs of the world, they have to be very careful with this process. And generally what they do is, they have to throw a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort towards the migration process. And you know, that's how they operate right now. And of course, imagine, competing at that pace. A typical migration takes anywhere between 60 to 90 days, and the cost to the data center is upwards of $6,000 per engineer. And I'm just talking about and I'm talking about per migration here. So, how do we solve this problem? Well, we created a completely automated solution that plugs into any cloud platform and any data center out there, and it brings down the cost to the data center down to just $1,200 per engineer. And that same migration process that was originally taking anywhere between 60 to 90 days down to just 15 to 20 days. And while these are very good for our short-term impact that we have on the data center, we have a few long-term goals. We want to bring down the electricity costs for the entire migration process down by 50%, because we'll be saving a lot of time and effort during the migration phase, as and when we get more mature and we integrate our platform with more clouds out there. And this will further increase the hardware life cycle, because the hardware will be under reduced load now. Because during the migration process, the hardware it's under extreme load for an extended period of time. So far, we have, we've been in this industry for almost 2 years, 3 years at this point. But for this iteration of the product, we truly started scaling about 6 months ago. That's when we validated the idea with one company, and then we did a few POCs. We've completed a few service projects, as well as a few deployments. And so far, we have generated about $15,000 in revenue. But once all of these POCs, convert into full-fledged deployments, we are expecting about $85,000 in revenue in the next year. And coming to why are we here? Well, we are looking for folks who have been in this industry for a while and can make all the relevant introductions, give us some warm intros, which will eventually lead to strategic investments. And in return, we are more than happy to offer free POCs. If there is anyone who can make some warm intros, we're more than happy to offer very generous revenue sharing agreements. So, thank you.
Big round of applause for Abhinav, please. Abhinav, I have a question. For someone who's not very deeply technical, what is the biggest benefit of automated cloud-to-cloud transfer? Can you explain in very simple words?
Automated cloud-to-cloud transfer. Well, first of all, the cost, right? You're saving about 3 to 4x of your cost. So that accounts to about 70 to 80% of your cost that gets reduced, right? I mean, as someone who is putting in that kind of money, of course, you're not going to leave that kind of cost on the table. And the second thing is that the time and the effort that goes on into it, right? Like 60 to 90 days down to 15 to 20 days, right? That's about 3 to 4 times as well. So that's what we have seen so far in the POCs and the smaller projects that we've done. We are also in the process of onboarding Yota, as I showed in one of the slides. They will be migrating 25,000 VMs from a government agency. So we are expecting that to be done in just one to one and a half, within 1.5 years, as compared to their original estimation, which was 3.5 to 4 years.
So it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely. Any questions for Abhinav here? Please raise your hands. We can take one question for him if we have one in the audience. All right. Anyways, Abhinav is a part of the green pop-up outside, so you can visit the booth and dig more information about. Many congratulations for being on this platform, and thank you so much.